Okay guys, so I've got a video coming up, and no, it's not an unboxing video. It's the XP Icon X. We've got its bigger brother out here, but we're going to dig into this machine and we're going to look at how XP has set this machine up in a more simplistic platform and cheaper platform than the Deus 2. Now, you guys can hear that the machine's running pretty doggone smooth. Well, what I've done is I've went through all the programs, and I'll show you the settings in a minute. I've set each program up identical. We're going to look at the audios on the machine. We're going to look at number 5 audio enhanced versus number 2 audio standard. And notice both of those are set up in square because I believe that that probably sounds the best when coin hunting. I use the PWM when chasing relics in heavy iron. And I would use it probably more in a standard mode. Now, what is the difference between standard and enhanced? And I'm going to demo this. And you know, I might as well give a little tutorial lesson before we get going good here. Standard has a lower audio response. And that just means that the deeper targets will sound fainter. The shallower targets will have a certain volume, they'll be louder, deeper sounds fainter. Enhanced has a higher audio response, which means that deeper targets are louder and shallower targets are louder, but XP has added morphing to help you identify shallower targets, and I'm going to demo that. Tutorial. And if you don't take anything else from this video, just remember this: when you change this machine and you start cycling through these settings, you change the behavior of the machine. And to make this even more simple, I'm going to give you the calabash digger way. Go in, whether you choose 2 tones, 3 tones, 5 tones, full tones, or pitch. Choose one tone. Stick with it. If you're chasing coins, you may want to use what I'm using now. If you're hunting heavy iron, you may want to use the standard. But you need to stick with that tone profile, because if you don't, each time you cycle through that 6 sets of tones, which I've also gave a recommendation to XP to simplify that, put letters, abbreviations there so we know what they are and don't have to remember what the 6 subsets are under each number. But pick one, because if you want to learn the nuances, if you're just going to be a guy that goes out and digs it every time something beeps and you're not worried about the nuances, then disregard this. But if you want to learn the nuances of this detector, which is going to have nuances like its brother's detector or very similar, and XP is known as the most nuanced detector in the world as far as audio information given, then you're going to have to stick with one set of audio, or you're just going to take your learning curve and make it way longer and possibly never master the machine's nuances. Learn one, move to another. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be going through the machine. We're going to the beach probably tomorrow, but we're going to be showing the different, aspects of the tone nuances and the settings, and at least you can get a starting point. But if you're cycling through that thing 5 times a day out there while you're hunting, you're spitting in the wind. Just remember that. That's the Calabash Digger pro tip of the day. Check this out. Audio tone differences on Deep Silver USA 12-inch or 30.48 centimeters USA Walking Liberty Silver $50. Check it out right here. It shows the weight. It's a big old coin, but it really shows the difference between the audio types, and we're going to look and see which programs tend to hit it best, because we don't know what the frequency sets are on the Icon X, because it's not a changeable setting on the Icon X. It's set behind the scenes. So this should be interesting. In a simpler package, I'm going to show you guys how I'm digging into like field mode, trashy field, woods, and park mode. And we'll just hit the beach programs real quick because Jethro's program is built off of those. So when we depth test, we'll look at those. But I'm going to show you something. Audio type is 5 in every program, standard ground, reactivity 1, tones is full tones, and dis is 6.5. And the iron volume is 5 in every program up through the machine here. Where we started, let's start out with field, part 1, program 1. It's pretty smooth, right? That's pretty doggone smooth. So let's go to trashy field, same settings. I swear that trashy field sounds a little bit louder, don't it? Woods. Let's make sure that the sensitivity is the same levels. That could be a difference too. 22. 22. Let's make sure sensitivity levels are the same. 22. Let's get to the bottom of this, boys. 22. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Let's go back to field. Let's jump up to trashy field. No. Trashy field is hitting that deep silver coin better. I don't know how much I can hear it in the headphones, and of course I've got the headphones mic'd up. I don't know how much you guys can hear the difference, but it's substantial to my ears. So let's look at woods. Let's look at park. Let's go back to field. Field is the quietest. That is interesting. So I guess if I was going to chase deep silver, trashy field, woods, and if I needed more filter for modern trash in an American park, I would use park because I believe that it has more filter applied. Now let's look at the beach program, and let's go in and make sure that we're in the same audio type. Reactivity, let's make sure we're full tones, iron volume 5, so that we're in the same exact setting. This is the beach program. A little bit quieter, right? Let's go back and make sure the iron volume's cut up. Everything else is the same. Sounds like wet beach is probably lower frequency than beach, right? Let's look at field. Let's look at trashy field. Little boost. Woods. Similar. Park. Similar. Beach. Dry. Let's look at wet beach. Substantial difference in wet beach. Now, the reason I'm showing the beach programs is because Jethro's program is built off of beach, and that's a very famous Deus program that's out there, the Jethro program. And you guys see that in my mild soil, it works really well. You can't ground balance that on this type of soil. It only ground balances on the beach. So if you're in a type of soil that you have to ground balance, that could be problematic with that program. Let's continue the testing. Stay tuned. Okay, so we've moved it over to audio type 2, which is square standard. And let's listen to the audio response on the same deep target between square standard and that was square enhanced that we just listened to. So this is field. Trashy field. I still think you get a better response out of trashy field slightly. Woods. Park. Beach. Dry. Or beach general. Beach wet. Beach surf and sea. Let's go back down to this one, and we're in audio type 2. Let's go to 5 and see if we can hear a difference. audio type 2, which is not enhanced, it's a lower audio response. And that is very interesting. Let's go back to audio type 5 and let's just talk about that for a minute, and I'm going to show you something. So that boosts the audio response, and yes, that boosts the audio response on shallower targets too. But this is one thing, the morphing audio that's added in. I want you to hear this, guys, and listen. Hear that morphing? Telling you that it's a shallower target, but that doesn't mean dismiss it. It's just letting you know. Going back to the deep. Coming back to the shallower. So this is a trashy yard, so listen. A lot of can slaw, junk out here from the 70s. And I'm going to tell you something. You see that right there? I couldn't have planned this any better. That is actually a wheat penny at about 10 inches right there. I planted that there years ago and I didn't mark it, or I didn't mark it when I resprayed, but that's a wheat penny. Hear that difference? Look at that ID. Digger, surrounded by modern trash. Shallow. Deep. All right, guys. We're going to stop the experimentation right there today. So, all right, guys. So that's the lesson on deep stuff and shallow stuff. And, you know, I like that morphing on that particular circumstance. Now, heavy iron, I'm going to lean more towards the PWM standard. And, you know, so we'll do some more experimenting, but you guys got to hear it today. It's got depth. So it's hitting what its bigger brother hits on depth. It's just a simpler machine, not as many settings. They're already preset. And, you know, so there it is, guys. Stay tuned for videos coming up on this machine. We're going to dig deeper. We're going to the beach probably tomorrow. Stay tuned.